Hey again, everyone. Thank you for joining me. A lot of people making a lot of content out there, so if you are engaging in my discussion, it is much appreciated. Anyhow, so good to see you, and we're going to continue on with our discussion of parenting with a narcissist and the narcopathic mother in law. So, this is a topic that seemed to get a lot of interest. Thank you for the emails once again and the indications that you are still watching. So, with that being said, where do I start? I'm not exactly sure where. Go back to the beginning again. Many of us didn't really sign up to become parents, but when you find out that you're going to become a parent, it is vitally important that you take that role seriously. And I always did from day one. And not knowing that I was dealing with a narcopath at the time, I mean, I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what was wrong. I couldn't put my finger on it. Um, she seemed to try to derail all of my attempts to parent. And the narcopath, of course, will use kids against you. They use anybody against anybody. That's just how they operate. But particularly vulnerable are the kids in these situations. So if you're trying to be a good parent, whatever that might be, I don't know what your parameters are. If you're trying to parent with a narcopath, chances are they're trying to tear down anything that you're doing. And looking back, I see now that not only was she trying to tear it down, but so was the narcopathic mother-in-law as well. I don't really know what was said. I can't tell you what was said that alienated my oldest. I'm just going to go and so I refer to the kiddos as ours, but for this I may well just say mine. Anyhow, whatever. So anyway, the alienation begins from day one. They already have it planned in their mind what they're going to do. Maybe they play it by ear, I don't know. But they definitely alienate you from your kids. I had started to not become a doormat early on. There's a lot of times early when I would just let people do whatever. I figured they must know best. We're on the same team, we're in the same family, that's okay. Save issues, save problems, let someone make the decision of whatever. Which is a bad way to go if you're dealing with a narcopath because it digs them into your life further and further. Hopefully, people are figuring this out by now that the red flags that we've been talking about on many of these channels for the last few years, if you see those, you need to get out of the relationship as soon as possible, especially if you don't have kids, man. God, God bless you if you end up having children with a narcopath. It is a nightmare come true. It really is. So anyway, the alienation begins early on, and they begin to insert their propaganda, their gaslighting, and their manipulation to the kid. This happened to me personally. I have to go back to the narcopathic witch that I was born to, who used to tell me really nasty things about my dad. And I never saw really any of these. I never saw him really do anything that she said, but I had all of these ideas in mind. So I became very alienated from my father early on, especially in middle school. I'm sorry, grade school early on, where, you know, he, his influence became less and less because she was in my ear more and more. As I was driven to school, I would hear just, things that he did before I was ever even born, things that she said that he did before I was even born. And it made me hate him. I hated the guy. And I don't have any proof of really any of those things. So they started early on. So in my own experience, being born to a narcopath, looking back, yeah, she began to propagandize me very, very early. And so I am, without anything other than circumstantial evidence, just the way the oldest son behaves, they got to him early as well. God knows what she said, the narcopathic mother and the narcopathic mother-in-law as well. God knows what they've said. I don't know, but it's nearly completely alienation all the way up into his adult years, and it's unfortunate. We do the best we can. I don't know what we're supposed to do. If you can get out and take your kid away or kids, do it. If you can afford legal counsel to get out of there, do it. I don't know how you're supposed to handle talking to the kids about what to do. You really probably need to talk to a professional about that. I think if they're adults and in their 20s, I think it's probably safe to maybe go and spill the beans a little bit and tell your side of the story. If they're unreceptive, you'll know that the job was complete. And I'm kind of out there at that point now. I don't know what to do about that. I really don't. It is a nightmare come true. But anyway, so seeing the pattern that I was in, watching what my mother did, I'm certain that that's what was happening as well. Anyway, with that being said, if you're trying to co-parent, which even gets worse, if you're trying to co-parent, they call it co-parenting in family court when you've been discarded and they try to take all your stuff, or whichever way it might be. The co-parenting with them is even more ridiculous. There's things that I have opinions of my own. Everyone does about things, about how people should behave, when they should be exposed to what, and they go against pretty much every single thing that I stood for. And they would do these things. They're indications of what's happening, but they don't really tell you exactly what it is. Like they'll dress the kid a certain way and send the kid over to your house looking odd and I don't even know how to put that. Okay, y'all know I live in Texas. And I loathe Austin. I think it's just a nasty town. I'm tired of the people. I don't like hippies. I think the whole LGBT, fuck you movement, all that, I'm done with that. I don't care. I don't care if you like me for it. You can sign off and don't come back. But anyway, that whole hippy-dippy-do, third wave hippie idiocracy, tie-dye nonsense, I don't like it. And I don't think it's a proper way to handle really anything. If you don't know this by now, that movement, that was a CIA movement. That was designed from the inside to tear our nation down, if y'all haven't figured that out. But anyway, I digress. So anyway, he'd be sent over with these stupid clothes, and of course I'd have to change him into something that was decent. And all you can do even in those times is just be very firm and be a good role model. Okay, be a good leader, and the kids will see. Hopefully, if you do get them soon enough. Thankfully, I got a total reversal after this nonsense, because they use that also too when you're documenting these things. Remember to document every single thing, every single text and email and what they do. When you're documenting this, you can use it if you have to. If you're having to still go back to court, you can use it. Okay, so don't take your eyes off the narco path. I know these people go, when you go no contact, don't ever pay attention. That's the biggest bunch of bullshit. You need to watch these people because they're dangerous. They're absolutely dangerous until you are in the clear and you can wipe your hands of them and go no contact. You need to keep tabs on what they're doing, because they may be setting up more no-win situations for you in the future, or right now as you even sit and watch this. These people are evil to the core. So they will go against every wish. So it's better really to keep your parenting, I would even say just keep it to yourself. But if you have to do some diversionary tactics, I think that's acceptable as well. You need to be really gray rock with them when it comes to parenting. Don't let them know what you do, what you don't do, because they're going to spin that all around. They're going to use it back against you, and worse, they're going to use it against the kid. Okay? And so, yes, they do use the kids. Some of the text that I got, I can't share them with you. I can tell you what they say, but I can't show them to you, were of the effect of, this was when I was finally getting a reversal in court, when we were co-parenting, said something to the effect of, this is not coming from me, this text that I read, I would never use the kids against you. And I'm thinking, because I'm into this so far a year or two, and I've started to figure it out, and if they say that they would never use the kids against you, you better believe that that's an absolutely 180 from what they would do. They will use the children against you, okay? And they'll use you against the children as well. They pit people against people. This is what they do. The closer you are to a narcopath, the closer that they can get to you. It's not the gas station attendant. It's not the lady at the grocery store. It is the people that they're around, which is their spouses and their kids and their parents, their siblings. This is what they do. So if you haven't figured it out by now, you need to start to document, start to detach, watch everything that they do. If you're in family court, you're co-parenting. I love that. When I went to the family, when I went to the, what was it called? Oh, something stupid. Anyway, it was like whatever, parenting after divorce or something, something that the court makes you go to. I asked a question because I'm kind of a big mouth in those things. I asked the question, well, what's in it for the kids? They couldn't come up with anything. They came up with one thing, and it's kind of funny in a way because you might have seen it in movies, but they get 2 Christmases. That was about the extent. I was like, that's what we're looking at here. The kids get 2 Christmases. Everything other than that is a complete destruction, a minefield, and a war zone because of what the narcopath, not because of me. Man, I tried everything to have it not dissolve into that. But they were hell bent on destroying what was made, and why they sat on their lazy butt, and I did everything. They were bent on destroying it, and that's what they did. And they destroyed the family and half-assed destroyed one of our sons. The other one seems to be okay, and it's a nightmare. I can't tell you how horrible it is. You just, if I could go back and say one thing, I think if I could go back, I would. Number one, I would be really quiet about what I know. Number two, I would start to make arrangements to get away from that narcopath with full custody as soon as possible and document everything. If I could go back and tell myself what was going on, that's what I would do. Because it was halfway through this when I started to figure this out. About the time that I started this channel, that's when I started to figure it out. I didn't make any videos until after I had gained primary custody again, and I didn't actually let y'all know anything until I guess last year, when finally both sons were emancipated. Both are of legal age, 18 or older, and that's when I can tell you more, when I made the videos about the poisoning and all the other nonsense and bullshit that they pull. So those things, be really quiet about what you know, visit these channels often, get some support, get some legal counsel if you can afford it, and try to make a plan. Try to get out of it as soon as you can, man or woman. Please, you got to fight for your kids. And if they end up with primary custody, it's not the end of the world. I'm one of the very few, ladies, don't get mad at me about this, okay? Because there is a default setting that it all goes to the woman. You know that. Anyway, but I'm one of the very few men who have gotten a total reversal of what was going on, because she was just such a pathetic parent. She was so bad, and just weird shit was going on. And I watched every bit of it and documented all that. And I tried to stay strong and tried to be a good role model for the kiddos. Okay, so kiddos are adults now. Anyway, for the kids, for the young men. So, and we'll see how one goes. The other one's okay. We still have time. But if you are in that family court, man, document every single thing. And if you didn't get primary custody and you are not the narcopath, it's not the end of the world. You can win this thing. If you go back, I made a really crappy video, I guess 6 years ago. I leave it up because it's got like 350,000 views. And I think I did revisit it and try to tell you how to win. I told you again, it was like how to win at narcissism. And we don't want to win at narcissist. It really should be how to beat the narcissist at their own game is what it should be. So we can continue the conversations. I don't mind. People are commenting and y'all are still showing up. So if a few of you are still hanging around, I'll still make content for you. We can continue the discussion. If you're finding value in what I say, that's good, and it means a lot to me too. So this having this channel got me. Start your own channel. That might be another way to. I didn't think about that. This has helped me immensely. Just having this platform to speak with people, and to see sometimes, if am I saying the right thing? Am I resonating with people that are in the same boat? And 99% of the time, the answer is yes. So that's the best I can do for you today. I really do appreciate y'all coming. I'm not going to ask for donations or anything. This is a labor of kindness and experience for you. So anyway, I hope that helps someone today. And I want to thank you, and I hope to see y'all again real soon. Thank you.